Welcome back to the Chill Stoic, your sanctuary for ancient wisdom in our bustling modern world. If you're tired of letting external irritations derail your inner peace, you've found your guide. Don't miss out on more transformative insights. Make sure to subscribe to The Chill Stoic and learn to turn every challenge, even from difficult people, into a stepping stone for your growth. In today's episode, we're exploring a profound life lesson. Others are the path. Growth through human friction. It's about how the very people who annoy you the most are actually your greatest teachers. This is where true self-mastery is forged. Most of us instinctively see annoying people as blocks in our path. They feel like interruptions, obstacles, or outright roadblocks to our peace and progress. That micromanaging coworker, the ex who left things unresolved, or the stranger who disrespects you with a horn blast in traffic, you tell yourself, if they weren't in the way, I'd be fine. But Marcus Aurelius reminds us they are the way. He wrote, "People are your proper occupation, not your distraction, not your excuse, but your work. Not to fix them, not to judge them, but to meet them as tests of your own discipline, your kindness, and your values." That's the crucial part we often miss. We tend to think that growth happens in solitude, in quiet reflection on mountaintops or meditation pillows. But it's easy to be calm when no one's annoying you. It's easy to be kind when no one's triggering you. The real test, the true measure of who you are, is how you respond to the people who challenge your ego, your patience, and your expectations. This life lesson is about understanding that human friction is not an unfortunate byproduct of life. It is an essential ingredient for transformation. Marcus knew this intimately because he lived it. He wasn't journaling from the quiet of a monastery. He was writing while leading armies, managing senators, grieving lost children, and navigating betrayals in his own court. Every day, people relentlessly pulled at his energy, tested his integrity, and demanded his time. And instead of resenting them, he used them as mirrors, as reminders, as practice. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." When he said that, he wasn't just talking about illness or misfortune. He was profoundly talking about people too. Because nothing triggers us faster than other people. They push our buttons, stir our insecurities, and mercilessly reflect the parts of us we haven't fully mastered. But if you allow them, they also powerfully reveal your growth, your gaps, and your grace. Let's be honest. It's easy to love humanity in theory. It's people in real life who make it hard. The friend who flakes, the boss who criticizes, the parent who never seems satisfied. And yet, these are precisely the moments that define you, not just as a Stoic, but as a fully developed human being. The renowned psychologist Carl Jung once famously said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." That's exactly what Marcus practiced. He didn't just passively tolerate people, he used his reactions to them as vital signals. If he felt anger rising, that was an invitation to study it. If he felt superior, that was a cue to check his pride. If he felt annoyed, that was a challenge to consciously choose patience. This isn't about letting people walk all over you. It's about not letting them knock you off your path. The truth is, anyone can meditate in a quiet room. The real work is staying centered when someone is disrespectful in a meeting, when your ex texts something passive-aggressive, or when someone cuts you off in traffic and your first instinct is to respond with rage. Marcus didn't aim to control others, he aimed to control himself. And that's the only real power any of us truly have, he reminded himself. It's not things that upset us, but our judgments about them. He extended that wisdom to people, knowing that they don't upset us just by existing. It's our expectations, our attachments, our reactions to who we think they should be that truly upset us. So, what if we consciously dropped the judgment? What if we saw each difficult person as a personal trainer, showing up to meticulously refine our patience, to sharpen our understanding, to expose the parts of us that still need work? You don't need more peace and quiet to grow. You need the humility to see growth in chaos, in conflict, in discomfort. That means your coworker's constant negativity is your training ground for compassion. Your ex's bitterness is a test of your boundaries. That rude driver is a masterclass in self-regulation. They're not obstacles. They're the curriculum. Think about it like this. You're a sculptor, and these challenging people are the chisels. Not because they're always right, but because they shape you. They force you to clarify your values, your reactions, your very identity. Plato wisely wrote, "Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle." Marcus didn't use this idea to excuse poor behavior, but to remind himself that empathy is an integral part of strength, that understanding is a component of wisdom, and that kindness is not weakness. It's powerful evidence of inner mastery. Because let's face it, anyone can snap, anyone can retaliate, but to stay composed when provoked, that's genuine power. The person who triggers you the most is, paradoxically, your greatest teacher. Not because they're wise, but because they ruthlessly reveal your edges, the places where you still react instead of respond, where your ego still takes the wheel, where your principles waver. And that's precisely where the real work begins. Imagine this: you walk into work, and your colleague makes another passive-aggressive comment. You feel your body tighten, your brain races for a comeback, but then something shifts. You remember, this isn't about them, this is about you, your center, your standard. So instead of reacting, you breathe, you return to principle, you choose the higher response, not because they necessarily deserve it, but because you do. You deserve to live untangled by pettiness, unshaken by immaturity, uncontrolled by others' chaos. That's not weakness, that's profound Stoic strength. Marcus knew the world wouldn't stop testing him, and people wouldn't stop being people. So he stopped expecting them to change and focused intently on mastering his own mind. He wrote, "When someone does wrong, you must forgive him, but not because he deserves forgiveness, the wrongdoer may not, but because you deserve peace." That's the core essence of Stoic resilience. Not reactive, not passive, but principled, steady, and profoundly awake. And let's be absolutely clear, this life lesson does not mean you passively remain in toxic situations. It means you stop outsourcing your inner state to external behavior. You can walk away and still be kind. You can set firm boundaries and still show grace. You can disagree vehemently and still remain composed. Because real discipline isn't about suppressing emotion, it's about channeling it with heightened awareness, turning anger into clarity, transforming pain into insightful understanding, and converting conflict into practical self-mastery. Socrates once said, "The greatest way to live with honor in this world is to be what we pretend to be." Most people pretend to be above the drama but fold when truly challenged. Marcus aimed to live it, to genuinely embody the values he wrote about. And that's why he consistently reminded himself, the world doesn't owe you peace, you have to cultivate it. And you do that in the hard moments, not in theory, but in real time. When someone disrespects you, when someone misunderstands you, when someone disappoints you, and you don't let it make you smaller, you don't let it harden you. You meet it with clarity, with courage, with compassion. That's Stoicism lived, not just studied. That's what Marcus meant when he said, people are your proper occupation, not that you have to fix them, but that they provide you with the invaluable opportunity to practice every virtue you claim to believe in. Patience, wisdom, courage, discipline, forgiveness. These are not abstract ideas, they are active choices. And your ex, your coworker, that challenging driver, they are your training ground. They are not outside your path, They are the path. And every single time you meet them with virtue instead of vengeance, you're not letting them win. You're letting you win. You're affirming your values, building your identity, and solidifying your peace. So stop waiting for the world to make it easier. Get better at showing up stronger. Not louder, not angrier, but stronger. Because that's how you reclaim your power, not by controlling them, but by meticulously mastering yourself. Marcus knew that. Now you. And that concludes our journey into Others Are the Path, growth through human friction. Remember, the people who challenge you most are often your greatest teachers. If this life lesson has sparked a new understanding within you, know that countless more transformative insights await. Don't forget to subscribe to the Chill Stoic to continue building a life of profound strength, clarity, and enduring peace. Until next time, stay steady, stay grounded, and most of all, stay true.